This is The Rumor Report with Angela Yee on The Breakfast Club.
So listen up.
Well, even though he's being sued by Jay-Z and a court order is placing limits on what he's allowed to sell, Damon Dash is doing what he said he was going to do. He told Variety that he's going to start an auction for his third of Roc-A-Fella Inc. and its sole asset, which is Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt album. He has a starting bid of $10 million. Now, whether or not Jay-Z will try to stop this auction, as he and his lawyers did back in June when Damon Dash first attempted to sell his share, we don't know if that's going to happen yet, but he is including an NFT in the auction. It's called It's the Roc, representing certificate of ownership of the 1/3 share. There's two different closing dates listed for the auction, July 23rd at 5 p.m. Pacific time, and according to the site's main page, July 26th at midnight if you look at the auction page itself. So a lot of confusing legal disputes leading up to this development, but he is going to be auctioning his 1/3, and he actually also posted this trailer for it.
Roc-A-Fella represented independence for guys like us. What I learned from that period of time is that I wanted to do things on my own. I really got into the artistry of it all. And I've always been fighting for the independence of artists. And I don't think an artist should have to compromise and give away everything that makes them special just to make a dollar or be seen. And what I also love about this is the artists still get bread when they sell their art, when it resells. And you don't have to talk to a third party to collect. And if I come into an industry, I want to change it for the better.
I wonder how much that 1/3 share is worth. I mean, I know what it's worth culturally just for hip-hop, but I want to know financially from a corporate standpoint, what is it worth?
Well, the starting bid is $10 million.
I wonder if it's worth $10 million. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But that's for the NFT, right?
Yeah. Well, it's a 1/3 of... It's a third of his Roc-A-Fella Inc. and that sole asset, which is Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt album, and it's also an NFT is included in the auction called It's the Roc. It represents a certificate of ownership of that 1/3 share.
I wonder if you get like percentages of merchandise and stuff like that when they use things from that era of Roc-A-Fella. Remember when Biggs had that line? He had that. Didn't he had a clothing line based off like Reasonable Doubt stuff? It was real
That's
dope.
a good question. I wonder.
I just wonder. I don't know.
All right, well, I guess it all remains to be seen. And Carmelo Anthony is turning his wine-focused YouTube series into a podcast with Cadence 13, and it's called What's in Your Glass. And so on that series, it's going to be launching, what's today's date? This launches tomorrow, okay, July 22nd. It will be available across podcast platforms and on YouTube. He'll be talking wine with Mark Cuban, Anja Day, Shaka King, T-Pain, and JJ Redick. So he'll be talking to guests about sports, wine, business, entertainment, music, politics, and more.
Okay.
All right. Caitlyn Jenner. Her income has seen a very sharp dip since 2016, according to her tax returns, because, you know, she's running for office, so that means that you have to actually give up your tax returns so that people can see how much you made. So if you had to guess how much Caitlyn Jenner made back in 2019, according to her tax returns, what would you think? And just to give you some perspective, right, in 2016, she made $2.5 million in total income.
I say 500,000.
I got to say 350,000.
550,000.
Okay.
Right, so.
I won. Price is right.
Yeah, you did. You were a little closer. All right, and there is a Malcolm X series in the works, and that's going to be coming from Malcolm X's daughter, Ilyasah Shabazz. So it'll be based on the novels X, a novel, and The Awakening of Malcolm X, both of which were co-written by Malcolm X's daughter, Ilyasah Shabazz, as well.
I'm here for that.
So X, a novel, follows Malcolm's life from his childhood, including his father being lynched and his mother being institutionalized against her will, up to his imprisonment at age 20. And the awakening of Malcolm X picks up during his time in prison when he decided to join the Nation of Islam.
You can never tell enough stories about Malcolm X, man. Greatest story of evolution that I've ever read in my life.
All right, and Harvey Weinstein has been extradited to L.A. to face further sexual assault charges per a court order. So they said he's now in the custody of Los Angeles County. His attorneys are anticipating that he will be arraigned on an indictment there. And he's facing a total of 11 counts of sexual assault in L.A. involving 5 women. He was found guilty last year in New York of first-degree criminal sexual act and third-degree rape. He's serving a 23-year prison sentence at a maximum security prison outside of Buffalo. He's also in declining health. He's 69 years old. His attorneys have decried the lengthy sentence, and his legal team did file an appeal earlier this year saying a biased judge and a biased juror tainted the trial. But the charges in L.A. include 4 counts of forcible rape, 4 counts of forcible oral copulation, 2 counts of sexual battery by restraint, and 1 count of sexual penetration by use of force. All right, I'm Angela Yee, and that is your Rumor Report, and that is my alarm so that I pay for my parking.
All right. Well, thank you, Miss Yee. Now, up next is the People's Choice Mix. Revolt. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Everybody else, let's go.